Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Hearts of Stone. We're here to play some Blades in the Dark, and it's Tuesday again, just like the last time we saw you. We're here to as a little makeup game because we had to miss the last couple of regularly scheduled games, and we're just going to be continuing on with our campaign here. If you've been joining us, if you haven't, I'll go ahead and plug our YouTube where you can see everything that we've got going on in the channel, everything I've played, because I think it is up to date. Now we've got everything, all of our streams up there currently. So if you want to keep up to date on everything we've done on this channel since the dawn of time, you can do so by clicking the link that's below our faces. Otherwise, yeah. Always feels weird to be doing this on a Tuesday. I know we've only done this twice, but yeah. Obviously, RJ is not here today. Unfortunately, was double booked and won't be here. It's his own damn fault. So we're going on without him. But we're super excited. I'm going to go ahead and talk about what we got going on next on the channel and then turn things over to my players. I think our next regularly scheduled live stream will be, because today's Tuesday, will be Saturday, returning with the Queer Chronicles of the Strixhaven Quintet, doing some more. We're almost finished with Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and yeah. I don't think we know what's going on next yet, but it's our D&D 5e campaign that Van has been running for some time, and I'll let him talk about that. And yeah, so I'll go and turn things over to my players and let them talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight, starting, as always, with Van.
This is a bold assumption, considering you have no idea what today's overlay
I don't.
looks like.
I just took a real heavy swing.
And it paid off. Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Van. You can find me on the internets at Van, but Wilder, pretty much wherever you can find people on the internets. I'm on Mastodon, I'm on Blue Sky, but mostly I am hanging out in the GGK Discord, posting random shit, like about how I found out I got a new job today, and I'm very excited. Be happy for me. Please clap. Yeah, so I'll come in with that energy today. I also stream on Twitch several times a week, Sunday nights on twitch.tv/hackrecklessly, or this Sunday we're having the premiere of the final season of Playthings of the Gods. Very excited about that one. And then on this channel a few times a week playing in games and running Dungeons & Dragons on Saturday mornings. Yeah, we are almost done with the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I am just at the whims of how much my lovely players want to continue to explore the final dungeon. And then we're going to be doing some fun stuff after that, so come hang out. But today, I am playing Glass, who is the Whisper.
I don't know who goes next. Sid go next?
Sid.
Is it me? Okay, cool. Hey, I am Christina Sid. You can find me on the internets at Greek Sid. I am here a couple nights a week. And tonight I am playing Salome. She's our spider.
And that just leaves me. Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on the Indoor Adventurer stream. Today I'm going to be playing as Grackle, who is our hound.
DanaeKeener.com.
Hi everyone. I'm Val. You can find me in the Kraken's Crown, lurking around the internet, mostly just here running and playing in games. Other than this game, I run a game called Red Jenny, which just had a session of last night, and it got kind of spicy, and yeah, so I don't really even know what to say about the game. It's dark fantasy, Dragon Age TTRPG, so we're leaning to the dark part of the dark fantasy. So you should come hang out with us if that is your cup of tea. But tonight, I'll be running this game. Are y'all ready to get started? Previously on Blades on Hearts of Stone. We had a new job. I think we started finishing up downtime. Your crew was the obedient servants trying to figure out where you were going to go with the information you obtained. You just successfully stolen the ledgers belonging to Master Vreen of the Vreen's Hound races to leverage in procuring the favor of one Captain Theo Panzia, a Leviathan hunter captain, a prominent figure in Duskfall, who is also a close associate of the Baron. You had decided to throw a bit of a soiree, a party at the newly refurbished jewelry box, and invite Captain Panzia as well as some other important people for the hopes of swaying him to return to your so you could return to his good graces. The preparations were made. The event began without much of a hitch. You had invited some, as I said, some important people, including the editor-in-chief of the Ink Rakes, Mr. J. Jonah Jameson himself. Sorry, no, his name is actually Fabian Pierce. Fabian Pierce, the editor-in-chief of the Ink Rakes, a faction that you are not on the best terms with. You've been they've had a kind of a smear campaign against you for a little while now, as you had some bad dealings with them not too long ago. We're hoping that giving them the inside scoop on the goings on here, letting them rub shoulders a bit, and maybe passing along some information to them might help. I think you had dropped off had you left information with them or just the invitation? I can't remember if you actually dropped off information at their offices.
We gave them an invitation and said, hey, we're going to be revealing some very important information at said party. Please come.
Yes.
Please come to our party.
So Mr. Fabian Pierce showed up, separate from Captain Theo Panzia, and the events of the evening began. The whole soiree, under the guise of being organized by Lord Skurlock, your patron, as sort of the main draw for this party. Lord Skurlock's patronage of the jewelry box, this relatively rundown or out of the public eye brothel in the Silk Shore. So the evening began going off well. There was schmoozing and good conversation, impressing Captain Panzia. Everything seemed to be going your way until Fabian Pierce arrived and had none other than Master Vreen in tow, seeming to be some sort of collusion between the two. I don't think the exact nature of their plan or their relationship here has been explored, but you've done what you can to try to keep them away from Captain Panzia and keep them from disrupting your gathering. All that being said, a couple of big events that happened during the night, other than Fabian and Vreen working together. Captain Panzia had a brief moment after connecting with Glass, who was trying to build a rapport with the Leviathan captain, spotted Grackle and appeared to recognize Grackle or perhaps have some history there. But that was not, Grackle quickly rushed away and avoided any confrontation in that moment. Grackle, however, in doing what she does best, trying to keep the party secure, began to keep an eye on Verena and Fabian, making sure they weren't up to anything, and in doing so, glancing outside, noticed across the canal from the entrance to the jewelry box, you saw the glint of a spirit warden mask, as it seemed your gathering was being observed or watched by the spirit wardens. So, with all of that information, and I believe those were the biggest developments from last time, let's get back to the party. So I think I want Grackle's sort of immediate reaction there, because everything else seems to be going pretty well right now. But Grackle, you have just looked out the window, you look across the canal, you see this, you identify a spear warden standing across the canal, seeming to eye the front of the jewelry box. What does Grackle do?
Where is Salome right now?
In the lounge with the drugs.
Yeah, I don't think Salome was directly in, because you weren't with the captain at that moment. I think Captain Pansia was still being entertained by Glass, getting some
right?
drinks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So imagine Salome talking to spending time with some of the other attendees to this gathering.
I think the move here is, before she loses track of that spirit warden, is to sick a Grackle on it, to not to attack but to observe, just like let me know if they come near.
Okay, so you want to try to set up a watch Grackle.
Yeah.
Okay, so this sounds, let's do a roll for that, because you do have to command your Grackles to get them to accomplish tasks for you, so we can go with that. I think you have the option, I don't know if have you increased the efficacy of your Grackles at any point, like their tier or anything?
No. Nope.
Okay. That is something that I actually think their dice go up as your crew tier goes up too, just to keep that in mind.
Good to know.
So I think your Grackles, you can either roll command, or your Grackles roll their tier, and they are what are they experts in again? Is it tracking?
Right? I believe so. Yeah, hold on. It would be under the crew sheet.
I realize we haven't really
looked into what the
Grackle
do.
stuff in a long time. We've made a lot of Grackle based jokes.
But active commanding of Grackles has been on the low.
Expert.
I've sort of just kind of let you do whatever you wanted with them, and that changes today.
It says expert hunter.
Oh, what am I doing? I have my book now.
We don't need these computers.
Coffee.
Books are great, aren't they?
Yes,
They're really good.
So we're looking at cohorts.
They're quality 2. I don't know what that means.
Interesting. Where are you seeing that?
On the sheet under cohorts.
On your crew sheet?
It says flock of Grackles, expert, quality 2. And then it says hunter. And then it's got their edges and flaws.
Yeah, because their quality is based on your crew quality. Y'all are your crew tier. Your crew tier is 1, right?
Yes.
And then they are, I think they get the additional die because they're an expert. Yeah. So the way that it works is they roll 2 dice in the thing that they are good at, which is in this case tracking. you can either roll their dice and just have them when they're acting independently, they can do that, or you can roll command and if you're using Grackle's abilities. So that is up to you.
Well,
Which would
my
you-
command is currently at 2, so it wouldn't matter either way.
So I guess
Um,
it's flavor wise. If Grackle is specifically issuing them a command right now and having them do something, maybe we just have Grackle roll command for it. Unless you think this is just something that like they've already been told to do at this point, and you're not like having directly intervene.
Actually, it's kind of fun to specifically in this situation. I think it'd be interesting to have them roll for it.
Okay. I'll let you roll the dice for them. It's just going to be a fortune. Just roll as it as a fortune roll.
Is this our troublemaker that you're sending right now?
Is this Moonshine?
Is this
Is
Moonshine?
Moonshine's still in detention?
No, Moonshine's in detention
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
We're
We
gonna
might
call
need to
this.
start a clock on Moonshine.
Yeah. We're gonna call this just risky standard though. So
Got it. Mixed success.
okay.
Mixed
So-
success.
With a mixed success, you are having your grackles or your grackles are set on you've set your security passcode. They are armed. You set or like the home status on your security system. They are in force, and I think you see them. You know that they will begin to make a lot of noise if this Spirit Warden begins to approach the
Okay.
party, and you are aware of that. What I'm going to do as your mixed success consequence here, though, is that the extra Grackle sort of presence outside has made some people a little uncomfortable. And there's just a lot of Grackles around, and they are kind of making a little bit of a mess outside, feathers and bird poop and shit outside the front of the jewelry
Bird
box.
poop and shit.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. And I think just like the extra birds around, like they're like some of them are like perched up like on the steps, like pecking at food. The ones in Moonshine's cohort that are rebelling a little bit from their leader being in detention. They're getting up to shit. So I am gonna mark 1 on the Pansia leaving clock there, just as just some general dissension, a little bit of discomfort here. Everything's not going perfectly, but y'all are still at 2 out of 8 on that one, so you're pretty good. And as a reminder, you're at 7 out of 12 on the convincing Pansia to join you.
I'm just saying, if I showed up to a party and there were a bunch of like big fuck off crows everywhere, I would want to be at that party even more.
They're not
Well.
though. They're shitty parking lot birds.
Yeah.
I like all birds is the thing. I just like birds. When I was in New York, I got so excited about pigeons existing in my general vicinity.
You would.
So
They're cute.
Grackle makes sure that the birds are still on Overwatch.
Okay.
And then she's gonna beeline to Salome to let her know the situation.
Okay. So Salome, from where you are at, there is you begin to see Grackle kind of closing the distance. Grackle, do you just go straight up to Salome, or do you kind of do the thing where you eye from across the room and wait for Salome to approach you?
It's not the first time that she has approached Salome and like whispered in her ear. It won't be the last.
Okay. So yeah, you lean in to pass along a message to her.
Keep an eye and report back if they get any closer.
Has Grackle informed her that Pansia recognizes her yet?
Nope.
That's not all.
What else?
Pansia knows me.
You didn't work here before. Where does he know you from?
He knows who I am. And my relationship with the Baron.
How was his reaction?
I didn't stick around long enough to see it.
Well, he hasn't come storming in, and he hasn't left. So it can't be all bad. Where's Glass?
Still talking to Pansia.
Do they know that you got clocked?
No.
Let them know.
Okay. Should I also let them know about our Watcher situation?
Considering they are most likely a large part of said situation, probably for the best.
Grackle's gonna go over to the bar and get a round of drinks and write a note on a napkin. And then she's going to walk over and serve those drinks to Glass and Pansia, just sort of from behind, the way that like a waiter does, come up from behind, he's all like, "Here's the thing that you need," and like right in front
Slides
of them.
in, yeah.
Yeah. And slide that note to Glass as she does so.
Thank you, darling.
She's gone.
Like the night.
Does not stick around.
Napkin just says, "He know me. Also, Ghost Hunter's here." And then it's just like a little bird in the corner.
Honestly, probably.
Not like in some cryptic code. I will...
Just Watchers here. Pansia knows me.
I take a little napkin, like surreptitiously read it, and then I will take a drink, fold it up, just a little dab, polite dab. I don't remember where we were at in this conversation, but I think it was at the end.
With the captain?
Yeah, with Pansia.
Yeah, I think you kind of ended your like one-on-one conversation and went to join the group.
Okay.
Captain Pansy is currently like regaling a small group of people with a story of his seafaring days, and he's like, "And I was on the bow of the ship, and I had my spear gun in hand, and you see the beast rolling underneath the waves as I aim down, and I swear to you, I see a massive eye open, blinking twice in my direction as I see it lurching from the abyss, and finally plunging my spear down into its black pupil. The beast gave up its final breaths and died at my hand."
Polite applause.
There, wait, just
A wonderful story. And a wonderful telling. If you'll excuse me, Captain Pansia.
oh, of course.
I'll return
Gives a
shortly.
very, very polite bow towards you.
I'm gonna slink off. I'm gonna go.
This man becomes more of a pirate every time.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
I'd want him to be our friend until we inevitably have to murder him.
Yeah.
Maybe not. The napkin and the drink will come with me. I'm gonna slink into my room.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take my occult shit and I'm gonna hide it.
You're gonna flush the drugs.
I'm gonna
Okay.
hide it. I'm gonna hide it because I know I've got crystals and fucking electroplasm and all kinds of weird shit in here. But I imagine that there's some kind of
We have contingencies on
yeah,
contingencies
there's
around here.
some kind of like good hiding place like under like a corner floorboard where there's like a
lead box with
like a lockbox or something that's hidden underneath like another piece of wood, so when you open it it's like a false bottom to open it again. Hide that shit.
Okay. So
If they come in here searching, they're not finding anything on me.
Okay. You very quickly begin to pack up any of your occult paraphernalia and stash it under the floorboards in the secret hiding spot.
Put that back.
I am going to
Powder my nose.
yeah, I don't really think there's really nothing you could that could make you roll there. I am just gonna roll a fortune roll real quick.
Okay.
Actually, I need to check something on y'all's crew sheet.
What's that?
I'll let you know when I see it.
Oh. But I could help you find it.
No, I already found it.
Okay.
Okay.
Trying to be sneaky.
I'm gonna make a fortune roll real quick.
Okay.
This is gonna be 2 dice. Y'all want a...
Does us having the secure layer stuff affect this at all?
Maybe.
Locks, alarms, traps. The second upgrade, which we have, improves the defenses to include arcane measures.
You pack up your belongings underneath the floorboards, and you glance up and see you catch this, and luckily you're in the room at the time this is happening. Essentially, when you created this, when y'all have remodeled and brought the jewelry box, kind of made it your secure lair for your operations, you took a lot of time to add warding. Like, I'm imagining it's kind of like under the wallpaper around, like on any external wall, just like, or under the paint or whatever it might be. You see a faint glow through the wallpaper that I think you recognize as the wardings keeping something out.
That's interesting. Do a little peek out the window, just like
Okay.
see what's going on out there.
You open the curtains.
One of the birds
and,
steal one of my crystals again.
you open the curtain and
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And you see there is a young man, looks like he's maybe some sort of like a merchant or something. I think you recognize him maybe like working at like the tailor shop down the road. Not usually a patron here. And he's standing on the street corner, like he's kind of like backed down the steps that go into the front, go through the like main entrance. And he like kind of shakes his head a little bit, like he's a bit disoriented. You see him looking from side to side, and you notice a You notice across the road, because it has been pointed out to you, you see that spirit warden from before has sort of stepped out into the road, and you see another one moving up behind, like to the side of him, and they seem to have like a brief conversation. You see that spirit warden that was initially standing there sort of points down the road, and this spirit warden begins walking that way, kind of like down the canal away from the jewelry box. And you see down the street a flicker, like one of the street lamps kind of catches the electricity of it, like the little small power surge. And you see a spectral form kind of forming there, kind of frantically zooming back and forth before ducking around the corner, and you catch that vague spectral outline of Nirix fleeing down the canal.
Not good. What are they doing it? All right. I want to try to like slip out the back.
Okay, you want to try to pursue?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's probably a prowl.
Okay. Go to the buttons. Here we go.
We're gonna make this a. I'm gonna make this a desperate action. Well, no, actually, we'll start at risky. We'll start. I think we'll go risky standard for now. I think you aren't the subject that they're looking for. So yeah, let's go with risky standard.
Can I? So if they're not looking for me,
Well, not in the one that you are pursuing is actively following Nirix right now.
yeah. Can I use a tune instead to tap into the ghost field and try to like follow the energy signature?
I think that because you're trying to pursue undetected is kind of it's
Okay.
you know where they're going, you know how to follow them, you can see like the issue not right now isn't where you're going, it's not being seen going there.
Okay.
Unless there's something else, if you want to use the tune for some other purpose, like to accomplish something else to get around this, but a tune is not going to help you follow and keep up with them right now.
Okay. I can't like because he's also like tapped into the ghost field. Could I use a tune essentially to like avoid him? Because if I can tap into like that and that energy and like whatever he's like doing to try to follow the ghost, then I can be not where he is.
Interesting. So what makes Glass think that that's how this spirit warden's following the ghost?
Because that's the only way they know how to interact with it. Because I think they're assuming that they have to have something that is tapping into the ghost field, whether or not it's the same kind of thing. Like whether or not they're doing it like the same way that Glass would do it, they've got to be tapping into it somehow.
So you are not going to pursue. Instead, you are going to try to throw him off the trail.
Of me.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is if I can tap into it and know where they are, then I can remain out of sight because I know where they are.
I still think it's going to be a prowl.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I tried.
Good effort. I appreciate the pitch.
Well, I rolled a 6.
Nice. Okay. So with a 6, you leave. Are you not telling anyone where you're going?
I'm gonna go out like the back or like out into the alley. So I'll just clock Grackle probably because she's probably paying the most attention. And I will let her see. I was kind of like make eye contact and let her see me slip out, so she knows I've left.
Okay, so Grackle, you see glass slipping out the back of the jewelry box and out into the alleyway as the door closes behind them. You Glass, you duck around a corner, following down the streets, like keeping in the shadows in the alleyways around the canal, of trying to avoid. You can see this cloaked spirit warden moving in the distance as you are in pursuit. We will cut back to Glass in a second. I want to know what Grackle and Salome are doing.
Well, Glass has disappeared. So, we are trying to keep Pansia here. What do you got, Grackle?
We're trying to convince him to be a investor. That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the social one. And this guy recognizes me.
So, neither am I. No, I'm kidding.
I've got something up my sleeve, but I don't want to do it unless I'm forced to. Because I have the potential to fail.
Fair.
Don't we all?
All the time. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I guess the thought is he's already schmoozing it up with people. So
right. Is there a way that we could like
rile
sort
up
of like
the party a little bit?
Yeah.
So that he becomes
try and
make him the star of the show. I mean, he's kind of already doing it on his own.
I'll also point out here
drunk.
too. Just to kind of pull back a little bit and assess like this situation. You also did a lot of work to get the party was the pretext to kind of get him in the door and get him like invested in the jewelry box again. As we were talking about it last time, you wanted him here to enjoy it and kind of see what was going on. And you have successfully done that, and he was charmed by Glass and is glad to see and saw Salome and is seems to be enjoying his time here. And I'd say if you're looking at an approval meter, I would say you've got him you got a little happy face there. He's definitely in approval of all this. You did go through all of the effort to set up getting the stuff from Vreen to bring him out of his current business ventures. You have not presented any of that to him at this point.
Well, we'd set it up that Glass could.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah. So I'd say you could turn this into you could turn this party into a complete rager if you wanted to. I don't know how much that is going to progress that's going to make towards your inevitable goal. I would say we could maybe do, if you're wanting to go that route, we'd probably do a limited effect thing, because you're just kind of you're sweetening the deal, not necessarily putting the final touches on a.
Well, let's some of the some of the product on display. Do a little parade.
I think we could do that, but also, can we maybe do a setup then, like a setup roll?
Sure. Yeah, you could do a setup.
Let's do a setup roll for this big reveal we'd like to do.
Okay.
Set him up. I'll knock him down.
Whet his curiosity.
Yeah.
A parade of whores. That's what I'm gonna call it. I can say that I am one.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's what we say when we all get up in the morning for breakfast. I mean, that's
the parade of whores.
Yeah.
So what are you looking to do with the setup? Like, describe to me, I guess, in fiction what Salome does.
I think just try and wrangle the general group that's kind of fawning over him at the moment, like listening to his stories, and sort of move everyone surreptitiously toward the lounge area, and just try to settle herself by him, and maybe outside of his say something to like Jade or one of the other workers, almost talking about current events. Probably dropping something about the dog races. And since Vreen is here, like, of course that would be on our mind.
Okay. So the gathering, it's kind of like out in the main area, like everybody's enthralled by Captain Pansy's stories. Like he's just continuing to rattle off like one after another. Some of these are probably ones you've heard before in your time spending time with him, and the Leviathan always gets bigger, and
the pupil always gets blacker, and
and you kind of come in and begin to sort of pull people. Like, what does Salome say, like, to get people into the
oh, like if it's one of the workers that's like listening, I believe that that young lady over there was had caught an eye. You might wish to offer her some companionship, and just generally trying to get people over in that direction.
So maybe like you're putting the people working here to action to kind of draw them somewhere. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so like if the the enticements and the displays get moved, and his eager audience starts to meander
migrating
to the, he'll hopefully follow.
Okay, and trying to get everybody into like the
lounge.
Okay, let's go ahead. We'll do the action. See how successful you are in this endeavor.
Consort.
Yeah, I think consort works.
I've been trying so hard to come up with a joke about whores and hors d'oeuvres. Because my great grandma pronounced it hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah. Whores devours.
Yeah, I'm trying to make that into a joke.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not gonna get there, but I wanted you guys to know that's what I was thinking about.
Ooh, okay, we got a 6. 6 vocal.
Cool. Okay. So with a 6, you begin to you're grabbing Jade and some of the others, and they begin to pull like people like towards the lounge. Like they come in from the lounge wherever they were, and grabbing the arms of some of the other patrons who are listening in on the stories, who are their tensions kind of getting pulled away. And you see Skurlock has been like listening in on or has been engaged in the group conversation. Not really, he's not like boisterous boisterous like the captain is, and just kind of on the outskirts, just kind of a natural like magnet for conversation. Picks up on that and helps you as well by moving his presence into the other room. And Captain Pansy just naturally just migrates with the conversation, not even like fully aware of what's going on.
Just
so
how we like it.
Easily done. You are now most people are in the lounge, like sitting, reclining, engaged in conversation. I think Captain Pansy has actually brought maybe one of the other girls working there. Maybe I think Florence was the other one. Was it Florence?
Yeah, Florence and Jade.
Yeah. Takes his arm and sits down. They begin to have a conversation too. And around that time, as you're kind of near the entrance and getting everybody settled, and everybody's kind of the energy is kind of coming down a little to something a little bit more intimate, and engaging in conversation there. You are beginning to kind of put the ideas in place, or beginning to formulate a plan for bringing up the business ventures of Captain Panzia, when you hear a voice or a throat clear behind you, just and you turn, and Fabian is standing behind you, sort of like straightening his mustache, and he says, "Well, it seems like now would probably be a good time to talk, right, Miss Salome?"
I'm at your leisure, Mr. Pierce.
I think looks over, gestures towards the now empty bar. You see, since Fume has some reason disappeared.
What is that boy?
He is kind of just gestures over towards the bar and says, "Seems like we can have a private conversation this way."
Absolutely. Scotch, wasn't it?
Please. And you see
goes behind the bar herself, because fuck Fume, Jesus.
Sitting at the bar, though, the only other person at the bar is Master Vereen. And who has not been too far from Fabian this entire night, and has been very, I would say, has been a buzzkill for many people around, just kind of avoiding his natural like vicinity. Is not like the happy, like kind of, is not the same guy, is not to have the same attitude that you last saw him with. He is here for a reason, and he doesn't care what the fuck is going on at this party. So you move behind the bar, begin to gather drinks. Grackle, are you nearby?
She would very much be keeping an eye on Salome.
Okay. As you pour drinks, the air between the three of you, or four of you with Grackle off to the wings, is tense, but does not, and that was a pun, the silence is not broken by either Fabian or Vereen. They wait for you to pour the drinks and to make the first move here, or to ask your question.
Did we have a question?
More so asking you, waiting for you to ask what's going on in kind of a clear power play.
Huh. Yeah, they're not gonna get it.
Okay.
She's gonna talk about the fine array of drinks that they've now secured through Lord Skurlock's graciousness, and more lovely suppliers that they've been able to bring along. Like, she's gonna talk their
So you
ear
just
off.
start going off on like small talk, like,
Oh
talking
yeah,
about
and
just
just and of
everything.
course talking up the jewelry box. Absolutely.
I'm gonna make a fortune roll here.
Okay.
Well,
Don't,
no, maybe
do
it's
not
actually
power play the owner
actually
of the
think
establishment.
this might be a sway roll from Salome, more than it is a fortune roll. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'd like you to. I think sway is probably more what you're going for, like taking control of the situation.
Okay.
So do that. Risky standard.
Okie doke. How much is it to push?
2 stress.
I'll do that. I'll push myself. Seems important.
And let's not forget too, the setup maneuver was successful for when you make your presentation, which will gain somebody, whoever makes that roll, +1 position, or +1 +1 die or +1 effect.
Beautiful. Okay. Six, 6, 1.
Oh damn, crit success. Okay. Then I think what happens is as you're having conversation, there's just a you're not even like making eye contact. I think you clock like a tension rising in Vreen to the side there. Fabian is listening and just sort of waiting. You can see like there is Fabian has a axe to grind with your crew as a one of the foremost members of the Ink Rakes. But he's not here necessarily for that right now. You can see he's kind of listening, kind of looking over towards being kind of deferential towards Vreen right now. And as you begin to go off about the renovations and the molding and how the update to the decor, suddenly there is a heavy slam at the end of the bar as a stool is knocked backwards as Vreen stands at the end of it. You just see like beet red face, just very, very angry in that moment and clearly flustered. He goes, are we really going to go on and on about the fucking molding right now? I want what is mine and what is owed to me by you fucking thieves.
Are you all right, Mr. Free? You seem quite tense.
Am I all right? Am I all right? And like looking over towards Fabian, who is just like giving for the first time all night, is not talking, and is just giving sort of a bemused smile, is like deferring to Vreen and just looking at him, like waiting to see what he says to this. And he says, I know it was you. I know that you and your crew are the ones that stole from me. You've made a mockery of me and my business, and I am owed due recompense for those actions. I have powerful friends within this city, and I will make sure every one of them does nothing but ruin you and your business here. And he is just like breathing heavily. You see his face is again just like blood red. He is just very worked up in this moment.
Clearly making a scene.
Yeah, there is he's yelling, and you see Fabian is watching this, just keeping an eye out. I actually think you notice like has flipped open a notebook and is like taking some notes like in his lap.
This fucker showed up solely to cause a scene.
Oh yeah,
And you know
here.
what?
You're starting to gather.
I respect it.
A little bit more about Fabian's motivations here. You see some people in the lounge. Luckily, like the people in the lounge are pretty well distracted, but some of them are glancing over this direction as the tensions and voices becoming more elevated. And at that point, Fabian does speak up and says, "Brina, I think you probably want to sit down a little bit. You're making an ass of yourself." And
You are
Vreen,
quite flushed. I could call one of the lovely young ladies over to fan you if you would like.
Vreen at like almost like it focuses his ire, even despite that, like focuses his ire towards Fabian in that moment, looks at him and says, "What the fuck are you on about? I thought that we had a plan. I thought you were here on my side. I told you what they did. I told you. And you said you were going to come here and you were going to hear me out." And Fabian is there, like, taking this, and I'm hearing you out. I wanted both sides of the story, and I'm listening to it here. So I have your side now. Do you have anything to say about any of this, Miss Salome?
What I will say, in two parts, if you will. The first, my establishment has been here a pillar of this particular community for almost a decade. My customers are happy, and they continue to come back. speaking of your business, Mr. Vreen, I myself, in recent weeks, have heard of several interesting elements that have occurred within the walls of your business. Would you care for me to continue to share them here amongst the public here and with Mr. Pierce? Or perhaps would you care to sit down and have another drink?
You see, he doesn't sit. Instead, it doesn't raise his voice at the same level, but in a very cold and an angry tone, just says, "Whatever your accusations are, they are unfounded. They are slanderous."
Mr. Vreen, I don't make accusations. I state verifiable facts.
You can see he watches, he looks to Fabian, who's taking some notes, doesn't make eye contact with Vreen, just is scribbling down on his notepad, looks to him, realizes that he doesn't have the support here that he thought he did, looks up to you, and just, fine. Good evening to both of you. And fuck you. And he turns on his heel and he storms out of the building. At which point, just leaving you and Fabian there, who scribbles down a few more notes, closes his notepad.
That note, would you care for another drink, Mr. Pierce, and perhaps to peruse some interesting reading materials?
Takes a scotch, downs the rest of it, and puts it in front of you and says, "Miss Salome, I'd love to."
I thought you would.
And yeah, do you pass along the materials for the documents to...
I guess so. This was not my intention, but, well, no. I mean, Glass can still chat with Pansy. I think...
Oh, yeah, this
Glass...
is two separate things. This
yes,
is not...
Yes.
This is not going toward... You invited the ink rakes here to not go to war with them because you are at a -2 status.
This is an olive branch.
This is olive branch.
He showed up here for the purposes, because regardless of how this went, he wins. Either y'all get fucked over and he can fuck you over in the process, or maybe he gets something out of it. So, but you
I'm really coming around on this guy.
Through your sway here and your calm composure and your...
Ever since we turned him to J. Jonah Jameson, he's really been growing on us.
He's really kind of a great guy.
So I will say, we'll resolve it afterwards. Behind the scenes, you have definitely bolstered your standing with the ink rakes through these actions. So
I'd like to follow Vreen and make sure he actually leaves the premises.
Yeah.
And she will show Pierce the materials that they have. So.
And if he doesn't, I would like to show him how.
I really want him to say "make me" because I want to see what Grackle will do.
I'm gonna roll a d6 here for fortune roll for Vreen, just to see what he decides to do.
How hyped up he's feeling.
Okay.
I have never been so happy to see a 1 in my life. I'm very excited to see what happens now.
Vreen.
Failure's bad for us, though.
But it's also fun.
Vreen is currently, you move, because he was at the bar, goes to the front entrance. You kind of step out on the patio. You can see he is now hunting around on the ground, begins to pick up a rock, like he's going to turn and just hurl it straight through a window. When he sees you, what does Grackle do?
Shit's pulled out a gun and shoots him.
Yeah. Just shoot him. It'd be fun to catch it and throw it back at him.
Shoot
You
the
can-
rock out of his hand, catch it.
What does Grackle want to do? I mean, you could. The world is your oyster. You can do anything. Just
Just kick him into the canal.
yeah. Let's do a skirmish then.
This fool was like, "You embarrassed me. Fucko, you did that yourself."
I'm gonna say again, risky, standard. Not there isn't any negative effects here. And I don't know if you want to push yourself or anything.
Do an action. I don't feel the need to. I think I'll be fine.
Okay.
Select action. Going to be a skirmish.
damn, you
And
got
if
3
it
dice
fails,
there.
I'll just try and resist the consequences.
All right.
That's a 5.
As a 5, I think with a mixed success, with a 5, you go straight. You walk to he grabs the rock, and he is wheeling around like he's gonna like he's about to throw it when he sees you, and actually like. I mean, you are armed, I assume. Like, you visibly have, like, a gun. I'm almost imagining, like, Grackle, like, you're walking up with your hand on your hip, on, like, on your holster. And he drops the rock, just seeing you and be like, all right, I'm leaving. And you just walk straight up and just Sparta kick him direct, like, straight in the chest, into the canal. And he goes, oh, and then falls into the canal, disappearing beneath the water before, like, coming back up and frantically trying to swim his way back to the side.
No, I just nudge the rock into the canal too.
You just kick the rock and then falls in the canal as well. As this happens, the Master Varine, who's like cursing and swimming to the other side of the canal and like pulling himself up, you hear the click of boots from your from beside you, approaching you. And assuming Grackle turns to face whoever's walking up beside her, you see beneath a cowl a bronze mask, as the spear warden that was across the canal has now approached you. Doesn't seem necessarily concerned with what just happened with Varine. Is not any sort of rush. It's not pulling out a badge or anything, but just walks straight up to you, and a muffled voice from underneath the mask says, "Do you have a moment to speak?"
Maybe. Just sort of like glances back at the party. Is there a problem, sir?
That is to be determined. I'm looking for Asher West.
Don't know anybody here by that name.
Interesting. I believe they work here.
That's funny. Nobody who works here uses their real name.
Ah. You may know them as Glass.
Poker face. Like I said, don't know anybody here by that name.
Would you mind if I came inside?
Got an invitation?
No.
I'm afraid I do.
There is a long pause, the splashing on the other side of the canal as as Vreen has
Oh,
pulled
you see,
himself
like,
back
the
up.
two-shot of, like, these two talking to each other, and just in the background, like, Vreen
It's
is
like he's trying to
slashing.
pull himself up, like he's got getting a knee up on there. He's kind of a rotund man. Is pulling like a leg up and trying to pull himself out of the pool. And finally, after slipping a couple times, finally rolls up
This is
onto
so
the
Edgar
canal.
Wright right now. I love
Yeah,
it.
he's breathing heavily. Finally stands up and just fuck all of you, and just starts storming down the canal away. You hear that from across, but that like undercutting the silence slightly. And the man says, "I'll ask one more time in an unofficial capacity. I need to search the premises to speak with Asher West. If you will not grant me access unofficially, then as a spirit warden, I will demand access in an official capacity."
Do we have protocol for this? Like, I feel like this is something that could have come up in previous conversation. Maybe we need a flashback.
Maybe.
You want a flashback?
Maybe. And it depends. Depends on. I mean,
I feel like
flashback is
contingency plans. All right, like if the blue
You
coats show
did
up, this
know
is
that
what we do. If
you-
spirit wardens show up, this is what we do.
and you were clued in previously that the spirit wardens may be an issue. So
What am I supposed to do if a spirit warden wants to be let in?
do we want to do a quick flashback to give you all a chance to talk about to discuss that?
Sure.
All right. Then we will do that. I'll call this a one stress flashback. Nothing too. Actually, know what? No stress on this one. This is something y'all could have easily done. This isn't. Depending on what you decide to do in this, if there's some sort of crazy plan you come up with, I might give y'all stress, but I'll let you do the scene first. So, let's flash back to the three of you planning in the nights previous to the party.
So that's easy. And the last step for blue coats would be locking that chest and throwing it into the canal. Pretty straightforward. So, next on the list, spirit wardens. Hoping it's not a problem. However,
Always a possibility.
well, my assumption would be they're looking more specifically for glass. So, if glass is not on the premises, seems fairly straightforward.
I can always make myself scarce. Just put away a few things in my room before I go.
With code word, Grackle can go into Glass's quarters just to make sure everything is on the up and up.
How much
Um,
time do you reckon they'd need to skedaddle?
90 seconds?
Should be plenty. And it's just a
I reckon it's
matter
not that
of
long.
staying gone till the search is complete.
Meet up point an hour later? Send a Grackle if the coast is clear?
Works for me.
Alright. And as Grackle says that, we're cutting back to current time.
Yeah.
Just like she shrugs and goes, alright. Because she knows that Glass has already been informed that the spirit wardens are watching. The plan is already in motion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know right now Glass isn't in the
Not
building. So.
Yep.
So we've eaten into the hour a little bit, but only by a few minutes.
Do me a favor, don't make a scene.
There shouldn't be any need. After you.
Yeah, just walk in, offer, hold the door for them.
You open the door, and Salome, from where you are standing, kind of looking back, you hear the door opening, looking back across the bar, you see a cloaked spirit warden step into the jewelry box.
I imagine it's a nonverbal cue. If Grackle holds the door for someone, pay attention to who it is.
Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Pears. One moment. We have a auspicious visitor, it appears. Salome will walk over as the proprietor of the establishment, also to give Grackle time to hide anything necessary.
Yeah.
Good evening.
You approach as the spirit drops the cowl, mask staying on, says, "Are you the owner?"
That I am. I'm called Salome. Is there something we can assist you with this evening?
I'm seeking a conversation with, well, I've been informed that you know them as Glass.
I don't believe I know anyone by that name. Is there perhaps another one of our bright, shining jewels that you'd care to speak with?
I'm only interested in the one. I do know that they work here. You see, reaches into their, reaches to the side of their cloak, withdrawing from a bag or from a pocket a folded piece of paper, unfolds and hands it and holds it out to you. Not to take, but to look at a sketch. A remarkably good likeness of Glass.
Oh. I'm sorry, that's Iris.
Iris. Are they here this evening?
No, not this evening. This is a private party for a couple of guests, but no, they're not working tonight. Most of our employees here are contractors, if you will. They work at several different locations.
And when will they be here again?
Perhaps whatever the Blades in the Dark equivalent is of Thursday?
We decided that is only 6 days of the week. It'd be either Dust Day. Say Dust Day.
Dust Day sounds good.
I'm going to go ahead and ask for a roll from you right now.
That's fair. Would this be another sway?
Yeah, I think sway works.
Okay.
I am going to make this. This is a pretty desperate situation. And we'll go with standard effect.
Okay. What are we looking at here? Shit, no, that's for helping other people. I think this is pretty important. I'm gonna push myself again.
Okay.
Getting up there. Okay. 5.
5. Okay. Mixed success. The Spirit Warden seems to listen. Again, it's weird having a conversation with somebody who's wearing a mask and you can't see their face. Doesn't seem to flinch at what you said, though, or maybe seems to believe you. and then nods and understands. Says, "I see. Well, I will need to search the premises, and once I've done so, I will leave."
All right. I'm sure Grackle can escort you.
Good. Let's start with this floor.
All right.
Has this been enough time for Grackle to do a quick sweep and then just be back immediately, like she never left?
Maybe. We'll have to see. What were you trying to accomplish? You just wanted to make sure there was nothing.
Yeah, just stick a
Illicit.
nose in Glass's room and make sure that they're not there. And
Yeah.
also anywhere else.
Yeah, Glass is easy enough. You don't need to make a check for that because Glass already did that. The rest of the establishment,
Our basement is gonna be an issue, but
Yeah.
I feel like do our wards
Is it
and
possible that I can
securements
just
happen
quickly-
in any way?
Now, here's my
okay.
question. Will the Spirit Warden give a shit about the man in our basement?
about Cobb.
About Cobb. It's not what they're looking for.
Unclear. The
Okay.
future is unclear.
So try
Yeah.
not to allow him into the
Try again.
basement, I guess.
How much does a flashback cost again?
Depends on what you're trying to do.
What if we prepared for this by having a bookshelf on wheels that we can just roll in front of the basement door?
That is not super unlikely. I think that
And
is
also
a
the
fair.
reason why you can't come back.
Oh no!
Oh, we
he
had
got
to
stuck
lock
the
him in.
basement!
Downstairs with Cobb.
Here's what I will say.
Fume is just
that
stuck
is-
in the vault getting drunk off his ass telling Cobb a bunch of stories.
Oh my
That is not the
God.
most unreasonable thing I could think of for a flashback. I will let you do that for one stress.
Alright.
I am going to ask for a roll that you got that in place without you got that in place good, for lack of a better word,
Right.
sufficiently, and also quietly.
Okay.
So
Like a prowl then?
let me look at the stats. Does prowl sound like I was either thinking prowl or finesse?
Unseen traverse obstacles.
I think prowl works. You moving quietly enough to not draw attention doing that. I think that is fair. Yeah.
And I'm gonna grant you one of my freebie assists as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, you were talking and kind of distracting. Perfect.
Hell yeah. I'll take it.
You want to push yourself or anything? I'm going to call...
No, I'm good.
Okay. I am
I
calling
say.
this one desperate, so you can take your effect there.
Oh.
XP there.
That's
All right.
Success.
With a 6, with a full success, you return. You quickly, as Salome's having this conversation, Grackle just ducks down the hall, very quickly moving. Like, I imagine, like the bookshelf is like kept like against one wall, and it's just a matter of like grabbing it, kind of sliding it over to the other. You slide it.
Grackle
I imagine
runs drills on this.
yeah.
there's like probably a like a combinate like a sequence of knocks you make against the door to let Fume know, like, if you're down there, do not come back up, as you
Yeah.
slide this into place, kind of locking it against the wall, and taking a step back and just sliding back into view as the warden turns back around and says, "We'll start with this floor."
No, all right. I'm sure Grackle could escort you. Grackle.
Just nods.
And you begin to show him around. Here is what I will do. With the preparations y'all have made and everything, I'm going to roll a fortune roll to see if there's anything that he finds that might be suspicious. The basement's a sure thing. He's not able to go down there. Y'all succeeded on that. I think it's mostly like between if Glass missed anything, if there's anything in Fume's room upstairs, anything in Salome's room, anything in Grackle's. So my question is, do I do a different fortune roll for each one of your rooms, or do I do one fortune roll for, because I could do different fortune rolls for each of the rooms with different amounts of dice depending on how likely it is that they find something ghost related in them. Yeah, it sounds funny. I'm gonna do it that way. Okay, we're gonna start with Glass.
Immediate failure.
Glass did take preparations to hide things, so I'm gonna count that as a die in Glass's favor. And essentially, everybody gets 1 die. I'm gonna give up to 2 dice additionally, depending on whether it is you had a chance to hide things and whether it is you are known to associate with the arcane. If you are not known to associate with the arcane, so Glass gets 2 dice. I'm gonna roll. That is a 6. Finds nothing in Glass's room. Searches around the floor. You do know something. I think doesn't really go into the. I think it doesn't really move into the lounge area with you. Kind of reaches the door there. Looks into the room and kind of scans over it. You definitely notice Skurlock sort of tensing up as he sees the Spirit Warden, and the Spirit Warden kind of eyes Skurlock for a moment and just gives like a slight nod. Like there's like you get like the Western kind of showdown music in the background between the two of them for a moment before they break their eye contact, and the Spirit Warden moves off. Definitely sensing some tension there. Moves down the hall and checks this floor. Everything seems fine. Doesn't find the secret passage to the basement. Heads up to the second floor. I think the first room on that floor is Grackle's. I am going to go ahead and roll for Grackle's room. Grackle, you did not have a chance to hide anything, but you also don't really associate with the arcane. So I'm going to give you 2 dice here. Okay, mixed success. I think he moves into the room and kind of looks around a bit. And notices your moonshine currently in a cage. Looks over and says, "What kind of bird is this?"
Never seen one before?
I'm not well versed on ornithology.
It's Grackle.
Interesting. Not local, I assume.
Oh, is it not?
You see, like, your very obstinate refusal to answer any questions.
Yeah, just
goes and doesn't respond. Begins to move around the room. I think you notice, like, goes up to the wall, like runs a handle on the wallpaper where some like the warding is. You see, maybe like clock something there. Before moving on to the next room. We'll go with Fume's room next. Fume does a lot of fucked up shit, but doesn't really do any fucked up shit with ghosts.
Or in his room, for that matter.
Or in his room.
It's
He's got a lot of
mostly
drugs
in
in
the
there.
basement. Yeah.
I'm gonna make 2 rolls. I'm gonna make a roll with 2 dice for Fume.
He doesn't have the coffin anymore.
Nah.
That could have potentially been an issue.
Does it even look like someone lives in his room?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, he's
okay.
gonna get in trouble.
How much is a resist roll?
It depends.
Tell the people what you rolled.
So I rolled a 3, which is a failure. If you want to try to resist the consequences here, we essentially choose what stat. I would probably put this under like a prowess stat. Is that the one for physical stuff, right?
Yeah, like
prowess?
finesse prowl. Yeah.
Yeah. So I probably put this prowess like you're quickly trying to grab something. The stress that you take, so essentially you roll your prowess and you reduce. You take 6 stress. You reduce it by the result of that roll. So, if Grackle, you wanna step in here and do this.
That's
you
what I'm here
definitely
for.
can. All right. So go ahead and do a resist roll with prowess.
Okay. Yum.
That's 5. You only take 1 stress.
All right, cool.
I think you see him beginning to go around the room, and sort of like there's lots of tools. There's a lot of junk here for him to go over. Doesn't really notice, but you do look over to the side and you see a like a bottle with I'm thinking of like something that Glass might have given Fume at some point in one of their many like rituals that they were conducting together when they were trying to do their demon summoning earlier.
Some like weird ashes or something.
Yeah. You
Something
see
that's,
some
like,
of that.
clearly ritual components.
Yeah, and you just like quickly grab some of them and just like put it in a drawer and like close it behind you, and just very quickly getting out of the way. You feel your heart pounding, but you are able to do that before he comes around the room. He says, "Whose room is this?"
Oh, the bartender.
Interesting work for a bartender. Doesn't expect a response from you at this point and leaves the room, finally going to check Salome's room. Salome, we're in a weird spot with you. You do some supernatural stuff, or you have one very specific supernatural thing.
I do,
But
but
you
it's
don't have it
very
on
well
you.
hidden, and it's never ever out.
Yeah. I think the question is whether he finds it. But I will we'll do 1 die because I think you would have hit it beforehand. So it'll be 2 dice total.
Okay.
Let's roll. That is a 6. Does it once around Salome's room.
She left.
And-
Can we say that like he steps around like a shade, like and like one of her bustiers is like just hanging on it, and he goes and just walks out of the
He
room.
just opens that. Yeah, looks at that and just, oh, all right. Closes it, just trying to stay as composed as possible.
It's like, that's not surprising considering where you're at.
Where I'm at, all right. I expected actually to run into more stuff in the rooms I was in. All right. And heads out.
Honey, you're not in the right rooms for that.
No.
Ew.
Eventually heading back downstairs. Yeah, I actually think we'll end this scene here as he goes down, begins to head back down the steps to the main room. And I think we need to take a break, actually, because I'm looking at the time. But we're going to go back to Glass because I want to resolve what happened with Glass there before we move on to anything else. So thank you, everyone out there, for watching. We're going to go and take a quick break. And we recommend you do the same. Get some water, stretch, eat a snack, whatever you want to do. But we'll see you back here in a few minutes, so stay tuned. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We are going to jump right back into our game as Glass is prowling down the canals of Silkshore and in pursuit of a spirit warden that seems to be stalking a companion of Glass, the possessor ghost Nirix. You watch Glass as they try to corner. You can see Nirix seems to be kind of frantically moving like along the electroplasmic currents that flow from these lampposts in the along the canals, and makes a turn down one of the alleyways. The warden, spirit warden, seems to follow behind. What is Glass's goal here? What is Glass trying to do?
Well, that depends, I think, on what happens next, because it's either to get Nyrix out of here or to make sure the city has one less spirit warden.
Okay.
That seems like a bad move, but I don't want them to be got.
Yeah.
That's my friend.
Yeah, definitely. You watch the spirit. You reach the end of this alleyway that they have turned down, and you can see these currents, the sparking in the air as Nyrix's spirit seems to be again trying to escape the path or the pursuit of this warden, and as Nyrix reaches the end of this alleyway, begins to hover up and kind of like almost like you see the electricity pulling off of some like the metal in the window frames. It's weird, like the way the spirits moves. They don't necessarily fly. They're almost like magnetically attracted to either other sources of electricity or other pieces of metal or other things in the area. And is the tendrils of these electricity are reaching this and sort of begin to pull up along like towards the roof, at which point you watch as the spirit warden like reaches under their cloak, pulls out a collapsed pole which like extends outward.
I have one of those.
Into a hook.
Nope.
You see, which begins to also spark with electricity.
Okay, so
or electroplasmic energy.
I can't really get to Nyrix without making myself known.
Essentially, this warden you're in a 5-foot wide alleyway. The warden is in front of you. They're back to you. The Nyrix is in front of them, and you can see they're about to strike out with this lightning hook.
I've got bad news for both that spirit warden and our heat level for this. I'm going to use one of my load to pull out my mini throwing knives.
Okay.
And sorry, that's my friend.
All right, you were going to attack.
I'm just going to try to kill him.
I think attacking from ambush, you can use prowl instead of skirmish.
So should be prowl about ambush with close violence, backstab, throat cutting, etc.
Yeah.
Actually, do I want to just do a throat slit? That's probably more likely to kill, huh? Yep, I'll do that.
Okay.
So I'll do a blade. A blade or two. For one load. I'll pull out a like a stiletto or like just a real sharp knife. Come up behind him.
Okay, I'm going to have you roll prowl. This is going to be a desperate action, but I will give you great effect here. You have them. You succeed in your prowl earlier. They do not know you're here, and you are risking a lot to get a lot out of this.
I finally get to do a murder. I don't think I've just done like an outright murder.
I guess we'll see.
Oh my god, please. Okay, I have 3 in this, so. That's a 6.
That's a 6?
Yep.
Okay.
The other 2 were 1s. Oh, I get an XP.
Yes, you do.
Because desperate. I'm just going to put that right in prowess. Whew.
Okay. You skulk forward as the spirit warden is facing has extended this pole, is looking up and is looking like they're about to attack or lunge forward to grab this this spirit or grab Nyrix. You
they have a name.
silently walk up behind them, quickly closing the gap, drawing your blade. They don't even react as you place the knife across their neck and drag it across. It is a swift and violent movement, and in an instant, this warden collapses onto the cobblestone street beneath you.
Because I know what's about to happen. Because the bells are gonna start going off.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna like catch him, lower him to the ground, rip that mask off.
Okay.
Do I know this person?
You catch them, lower them to the ground. You pull the mask off. You do not recognize this person.
Cool.
It is a woman with very pale features, very short cut, like brown, kind of slightly curly hair. Her eyes like glazed open as she is staring out from underneath the mask. You don't recognize her though.
Sorry, love. The cloak is coming off.
Okay.
I put the cloak on. I put the mask on.
Okay.
Ow.
You begin to take off. You begin to pull off the cloak. Here's what I'll give you. You start grabbing the cloak. You pull the mask. Suddenly, Nirix like hovers down towards you, sort of manifests in front of you. Says, "Glass, what do you?"
We're even.
They seem panicked and confused in this moment, and says, "You're in a lot of danger. Why did you do that?"
Because they were after you, and they're also after me. And one less spirit warden after me is good for me.
You need to get out of here before the bells. And kind of looks around, and you realize it too. The bells haven't sounded. And you look down and you realize something. They've stopped bleeding. You see like a little bit of blood from where the knife went across, and there's an open wound, but it like very quickly congealed or coagulated. And you watch as suddenly the body blinks.
I've already got the mask on.
Their head snaps up towards you. And you realize too, as the cloak is open, you begin to pull across, they, where the heartstone would be, is a scar. Like a burn, like the heartstone has been removed and the flesh has scarred over.
Well, this is awkward.
The woman like growls and says, "I'm going to fucking kill you."
Nope. Uh-oh.
What do you do?
Ooh. Oh, shit. Let's see. So the cutting her throat took her out for a second. So I'm just gonna stab down into her chest.
Okay, you're gonna stab again.
I do have the mask on, so
this
she
will
can't
just be
see my face.
This will be a skirmish because you are not.
I don't have fuck all in that.
Because you are not ambushing anymore.
Okay, so I have nothing. So I roll 2 and take the lower.
You roll 2 and take the lower.
Okay. I might have run out of luck here, fellas. It's a 4.
Mixed success. Okay.
The other one was a 6.
Here's what I'm going to give you then. Instead of I think they begin to roll out of the way as you are beginning to drive your blade down into their chest. Instead, it like pins into their cloak and like into the stone underneath. So you essentially pinned them down for a moment, but they're not incapacitated.
Okay.
Giving you a moment to get away.
That's fine. I can get a black cloak somewhere else, but I have a spirit warden mask now. And I'm just gonna sort of give a little salute. Lovely meeting you. Hope we never see you again. And I'm out. I run. I'm gone. I run. I run.
And you run. I am going to roll...
hoping Nyrix has sort of taken this opportunity to fuck off. Or follow me, whatever, just to get away.
I think Nyrix is moving along with you right now, at least for the moment. I'm going to roll fortune just to see how long this is going to hold them for, whether you're going to have to make another check or not.
Okay. Oh, man.
It's just going to be one die.
You know what? I've learned something extremely important today that I think the crew... That's a 4.
That is a 4.
That the crew will be very excited to know about.
You go, you begin to run. You hear them shouting after you. It says, I am going to find you and I'm going to kill you.
Good luck.
As you run, ducking around the corner and out into the canal, you see some lights, like some shutters beginning to open at the shouting behind you as you're running, mask on. I will say with a mixed success, interesting. I'll say with a mixed success, it holds them for long enough you're able to get outside. Are you heading back to the jewelry box?
Yes, but not directly.
Okay.
I'm gonna take just a little bit of a weird route, go through a couple of alleys, try to throw them off my scent a little bit, and then I will go back to the jewelry box.
Okay. You begin to run back to so you're not going directly back there. Essentially, you're getting some heat off you, making sure they're not following you.
Yeah, I just take a little bit of a longer route. I'm not gonna go crazy with it because I don't want to get caught, but just a couple of side streets, couple of alleys, kind of cut double back a couple of times, and then I'll go home.
I will say you duck around. I'm going to ask you to make one more check for me, I think.
I think I'm prowling at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 5.
Okay.
So close. And
Mixed success
so far.
You get out of line of sight. You have gone over a couple extra streets you're down a canal like a couple of blocks away from the jewelry box, having gone a very circuitous route, not heading directly back there. You heart pounding, you're finally recovered. I guess I should have turned the music into something a little bit more dangerous. I'm going to do that right now.
I was not paying attention to it.
Yeah. You finally recovered and catching your breath as like Nyrix appears beside
Take
you.
the mask off.
You take the mask off. What just happened?
I think I saved you from getting stuck in a bottle by a spirit warden. And also, looking at the mask, gained, some extremely interesting information about how they work, and also this.
Was that spirit warden... Was that a vampire?
Had to have been. Didn't have a heartstone. Barely stayed dead for 30 seconds.
That's very bad, Glass.
It's very interesting.
Interesting? You you're being hunted by vampires.
Yes, it's usually the other way around, isn't it, in the books?
This isn't funny.
Oh, I don't think it's funny. I think it's fascinating. Mostly because now I know what my enemy is.
Do you think they're all that way?
I think they must be.
But that doesn't make any sense. They hunt creatures like that.
What better way to hunt a creature and to know a creature than to become a creature? It makes a lot of sense.
This is very dangerous.
It's only going to get more so.
I'm sorry. I came to warn you because I saw them outside.
I know.
I didn't realize I wouldn't be able to enter the front door.
I'm going to have to cut to you some sort of entrance or message system or something so you can get a hold of me when I'm inside. We have a lot of wards, you understand?
Well, I'm going to hide for now. I don't think it would be good for me to go back there. Will you find me?
I'll find you tomorrow.
All right. Please be safe. There was another one out there.
I saw through the window. Tomorrow afternoon. I'll find you.
I'll be nearby.
Good. Be safe.
And the spirit disappears back into the electroplasmic currents and vanishes.
Right, I have nowhere to hide this mask, so I'm gonna sort of tuck it behind my back.
Okay.
And I'll just kind of like peek in for like the side door, the back door, or wherever I went out of the jewelry box and try to catch Grackle if I can.
I want to say that Grackle notices you immediately because her
I'm
head's on
going
a
to
swivel
roll.
for
Good,
you.
good. Yes.
I'm going to roll a fortune roll here.
Or what?
You rolled a mixed success in your prowl home. I'm going to roll a fortune roll for timing to see whether you walk in as the spirit warden is still there or leaving. Whether
I'm
he
not
might
walking in.
notice you.
I'm peeking
Yes.
and trying to get
Peeking.
eye contact with my favorite cowboy.
I'm just going to roll a fortune roll to see whether he might notice
All right.
this situation. You've done a lot of prep work. We did a flashback. You did prowl. I'm going to give you 3 dice on this, so you have a very good chance of succeeding.
All right.
here.
I'll take it.
All right, 3 dice. That is a 6. I am going to say, before Glass returns, Grackle, you have escorted this spirit warden back to the front. Who stops and but as they're leaving and says, "Thank you so much for your humoring me. I appreciate your candor and cooperation. I did not find anything concerning in my investigation, but I would ask that if Iris, Glass, Asher, whatever you know them by, returns, that you tell them to reach out. Come to Bellwether Crematorium and speak with me directly."
Can I ask exactly why?
Are they in some sort of trouble?
No trouble. I'm merely interested in having a conversation. But for now, I'll bid you good evening.
Good evening.
And they step back outside. You see, as they step out and pull their cowl back, you see a figure come jogging down the street, wearing their cowl. You can see they seem to have like they're not wearing a mask, but it appears that they have ripped off a section of their cowl and wrapped it around their head, almost like a kind of a makeshift like bandana. Like it's just like you can only see like the eyes up. You see a shock of like brown hair, but that's about it. Come running up. There's like a brief conversation. She like points down the road, and the two of them go like jogging off that way.
I just gotta say, she never saw my face.
She's not.
Salome watches them go. You'll come back now, you hear?
Peeking in the
And
side
at that same
door.
time, glass has popped in the back.
One hand behind their back, sort of pressed up against the wall, like just creeping out, waiting the 2
Yeah.
seconds it's gonna take for Grackle to notice.
Doesn't even look at them. You've been busy.
I need your help.
Turns around, follows them back.
I need a new shirt. This is blood. It's just blood. And somewhere to hide something. I don't have pockets.
Grackle will just. All right, follow me.
Okay. I do this.
Like, do you have shirts? You surely have changes of shirts here.
I have shirts.
Yeah, we get you a shirt.
It's the
What are you
same.
hiding?
It's the same shirt, just not covered in blood. And I will pull out. If we're alone, I will pull the mask out from behind my back.
What in Sam Hale have you been doing?
Trying to kill a spirit warden.
Well, clearly it didn't work.
Yes, that surprised me too. I think after the party, I have some information that you'd be interested in.
Just snatch the mask from them. If you want a piece of unsolicited advice, if you're going to start a job, you better finish it.
We'll talk later. I think some things will become very clear. But yes, as always, Grackle, I'll take it under advisement.
All right. Grackle's going to squirrel that spirit warden mask away somewhere. In
She's the
middle of
one I
party.
trust the most to do so.
Yeah. So it's got to go somewhere funny.
You just mount it
When
over the
she-
fireplace.
No,
Put
I
it-
want to have it. I want to have it to be able to use in the future.
I put it in the cage with moonshine.
Alright, change my shirt. Make sure there's no blood on me.
All right.
I'll rejoin the party.
You.
So it's been what, 20
rejoin-
minutes?
Yeah, you rejoin the party. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the music back to the party music.
Jazz. Do you like jazz?
For the most part, other than the brief disruption of a spirit warden entering the evening's events, you've managed to avoid things getting out of hand. The evening is pressing on. It is growing rather late, and you have still not accomplished your primary objective.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go
We-
to Salome, yeah. Hello,
I'm
alive.
actually just going to mark another tick on the clock just because of the distraction with the spirit wardens and losing a little bit of focus.
The slow fade on the clock. Just.
Apologies for my absence. I was a bit tied up.
Standing invitation from the spirit wardens to visit the crematorium.
Interesting.
They assured me they just wanted a conversation.
And who did they ask for?
Asher,
Now that's a problem. But that can be a problem for tomorrow.
They did also know you by Blas. I had to burn Iris. My apologies.
That's all right. She did her time. So, Captain Pansy is still here, yes?
Yes, but the night is no longer young, so I suggest we make the big sale. Mr. Pierce seems quite content.
Good. Then the olive branch worked.
Fairly successfully, I would say.
Great. Grackle is holding an item of interest for me currently. I think you'd be very interested to see it, and very interested to hear about my escapades, but that, again, is a later problem.
We can discuss it during the parade of whores tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, I so look forward to the parade of horse.
I'm adding a new time to the Duskfall clock.
Parade of Whores.
It's
Parade
like
of Whores.
8:30. Yeah, it's like early breakfast.
It's check-in,
It's
making
like-
sure everybody's okay, feeling good. Everybody gets a good breakfast. Everybody
Yep.
hydrates. Everybody makes sure their outfits are okay.
Yeah, so
It's like
12
that is what
o'clock.
that's what we call a stand-up.
So yeah,
It's our morning
just
stand-up.
after
It's the parade of
smoke
whores.
just after smoke before the sun rises. It's is the parade of whores.
Yes, excellent. How drunk is Captain Panzia? Is he going to be able to comprehend?
Barely.
What's in this
but
book?
We have been watering down his favorite drink for the past half hour or so.
Good. Well,
And Captain Pansy is currently standing on one of the tables, has like an empty bottle in hand, like a fencing dice. He's like recounting like a fight that he had. And I dueled him on the deck of my own ship, the mutinous bastard that tended to take my vessel from me. And as I cursed his name that shall never be spoken again in 1,000 lifetimes, I kicked him square in the nuts and shoved him off my ship.
excellent story, Captain Panzia. I suppose it's now or never, right?
I think he's primed.
Drunk people are very strange about money. They spend a lot of it, but don't like it being taken from them. Might I have the ledger?
Of course.
Yeah, I think Fabian finished with the ledger is now like again still kind of interview. I think Fabian is now talking to Skurlock and like again trying to get that interview.
I like this guy.
He's just
think-
always on his grind.
I think
like-
Yeah.
I think well what he's doing is honest journalism and trying to get all sides of every story.
yeah.
I think we should try to make up with the ink rakes really and try to
I think we
get this
are.
guy on our side.
I think
because
that's,
I
think
like
that's gonna
him.
be the plan.
Hey, you're well on your way.
My suggestion that he is J. Jonah Jameson is literally the best thing I've ever said, and
I think it honestly has made this character.
I love him, and also Fabian Pierce, incredible naming,
Great name.
very
Great
well done,
freaking
Doug,
name.
you're welcome for that.
very well done, very well done. I'm going to borrow the ledger. I'm going to slink my way back into the crowd like I've been here for the whole story with it sort of like tucked under one arm, because there's no way I have pockets. In whatever getup I said I was in, we applaud. I will sort of halfway like reach out to Captain Pansy, who's up on the table. Captain,
Excuse me. Steps down from the table, setting the bottle back on top of it. Says, "My darling Glass, I'm apologize."
No, he
Sorry,
doesn't.
Iris. My
Violet.
darling Violet. Oh, did you go for the different name?
I'm
Sorry,
Violet today.
I
Yes.
can't keep track.
No, it's fine. That's why I'm keeping track. That's not. You don't have to deal with it. I'll keep track.
All right. I already look up like 6 names for the
No,
encounter
I
with the
got it.
spirit wardens.
I got it. I'll tell you who I am. I'm Violet today.
All right, so Violet says, "My darling Violet, I apologize for my. I got caught up in the
No,
performance." the servant
not
said.
at all. A bit of showmanship is very welcome here at the Jewelry Box. Would you care to join me for another drink?
Please, please.
Right. I'll look up. Who's tending bar right now?
No one.
Salome
I-
at this point.
It's
Yeah.
self-serve right now. There are a couple of grackles behind there that are washing glasses.
Yay!
Grackle can tend bar. That's
Okay.
fine. She
Yeah.
steps away often to go and like handle stuff, but like yeah, she'll tend bar.
Yeah, I'd say like the festivities are thinning out at this point. We're probably getting close to like it's like between silk and wine right now. It's like past midnight.
So everybody's drinking is thoroughly drunk.
Yeah, well, either people have left, either people have paid for their companionship for the evening and are
Sure.
knocking boots in some of the back rooms.
Shacking up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like just a handful of people in this lounge right now. So tending bar is not really a huge concern.
I just sort of.
Yeah, you head out and just the two of
Two
you
drinks.
over at the bar as Grackle prepares another drink. I think Fume left the instructions for the drink that he made for the captain.
It's got a little recipe book.
On a notepad, and just has that off to the side.
Dear Lord, we should publish this.
The problem is most of it's encoded, so
The real
his
problem
recipes.
is that
The thing is, like his actual like Sparkcraft stuff is done in recipes. His recipes are done as Sparkcraft instruction ingredients. So it's like turn the nozzle 5 degrees counterclockwise and adjust the amperage by 10%.
And that means bourbon.
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you, my dear. Pass the captain a drink.
Oh, thank you.
I have so been enjoying your stories, Captain Panzia.
Well, I appreciate it. Old sea dog like myself, it's one of the few pleasures I get in company such as this. I find that many people are entertained by my day-to-day work.
Oh, you seem to enjoy telling them as well. You are
I do.
quite the storyteller, I have to say. That is a difficult craft to perfect.
Well, and I've had a lot of practice at this point. But thank you. My sincerest thanks for the compliments. I noticed you seemed to disappear for a portion of the evening. I hope everything is in order.
Oh, yes, everything is fine. I simply am tending to some business for Miss Salome, and nothing untoward. I assure
Keeps you working
just
at all hours, I see.
Well, to keep this place up and running, we all work quite hard, but it is worth it for a place we love.
I can understand that. I have a same perspective on my ship. It's both my livelihood and my true love, making sure that it's kept above the water and not below it.
Yes, well, fortunately, we don't have to worry about the jewelry box sinking in the literal sense, but you know how it is running an independent
Understood.
business in the city.
That I do. It's a fickle thing.
Speaking of business, I hate to sour the mood of our interactions, so forgive me. But I've come across some documents I think you should see.
All right.
I apologize if I am overstepping, but you strike me as, if I may drop the facade a bit, a kind man, a good man who wishes for his livelihood and his investments to go to good places.
Well, I've been called many things. A good man is not necessarily high on that list, if you ask my last 8 wives. But I do try.
I can tell. And that's why I wanted you to see this, and I'll pull out the ledger. In my line of work, I speak to a lot of people, and I keep a lot of secrets, and normally, I hope you don't hold this against me, generally I would keep those very close to my chest, but in this case, I couldn't stand by and watch someone like yourself be duped, so this is Master Vreen's ledger. His actual ledger.
You see, like, looks at you a bit, like, brow furrowing, like, sobering a bit. You gather, like, probably wasn't as drunk as he's actually acting. It's probably more performance. He probably has the alcohol tolerance to
He
drink
could have
anyone
7 more
here
drinks.
under the table without question. And so a bit of a sobering effect as you bringing up some more complex issues. And he looks down at the ledger and he says, Master Vreens, you say?
Yes, and again, I apologize if I overstep in any way, but regardless of my work here or my status as a very trusted secret keeper, I couldn't stand by and watch this happen.
Do I want to know how you get your hands on something like this? And you know what? I'm not even going to ask, and I will understand that perhaps this explains Mrs. demeanor this evening towards you and Salome.
He's not exactly pleased with us, but in my line of work, I speak to a lot of people, so I imagine it was bound to come out based on his general demeanor and behavior. The way he comports himself is not entirely what I would expect of a businessman, but
he looks down at the ledger and he says, may I?
of course.
He takes it and opens it. I am going to go ahead and have you roll at this point.
Sway?
I think so. I think it's definitely sway. Salome set this up earlier with setup action. So you can take either +1 die or increased effect. I'm going to say at like base level here, I'm actually going to call this a controlled situation given everything that's been set up right now. I think you're in a very controlled, like if this doesn't go well, you could try a different angle. You could push some more.
He's not just going to get up and leave.
Yeah, you're in control of this scenario, right? Of the situation right now, as it stands. Effect, I'm going to call standard. So, if you succeed on this, you would get 2 ticks towards your goal.
Okay.
You can either use.
What about great? How many ticks does great?
That's
Great
3.
Give me that's 3.
So you can either, you can either take that additional die or you can take additional effect from the setup on top of like pushing yourself and
I have
everything.
2 in sway.
Can I give my final freebie assist here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
you definitely could. So that would be that would be an assist. You get an additional die
So
from
that's
that.
3.
You can still push yourself.
Yeah. I've still
On top
got,
of choosing where this setup goes towards.
I've still got 4 stress left, and the night is coming to an end. Yeah, I'll push to give myself another dice, so I'll have 4.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for great effect instead of the dice.
Okay.
Nothing else I can do. I'm like looking like there's nothing else I can do.
I
I
think
summon a
that's it.
ghost. No.
You did push yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna push for the next
So
dragon. Look at me.
that's
Is it
4.
4 dice. I have 4 dice.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Because my sway is 2, 1 from Salome, 1 from pushing, and I will.
And then the
I'll
effect
use
is
I'll
to
use the
great.
setup to put it to great effect.
I think you got. That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah. It's 2 6s.
That's 2 6s.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So
This man
you
is
will-
about to become my new best client.
You will do it with increased effect, which will increase the effect to 4. So
I don't even know what that means.
So you are now at 11 out of 12 for convincing him. Which is pretty perfect. He looks over the ledger. There's a long I think right now that you have convinced him as much as you can with words and booze and good company, and right now you kind of left to let him figure out a couple things for himself.
Yeah.
Uh,
I will sit in comfortable silence, sip very lightly on the drinks that Grackle has made, and just wait.
You see as he flips through the book, page another. A minute passes, 5 minutes pass. So he's going page to page, and there's no readable discerning expression changes he's going through. He's just studying, looking over the numbers, occasionally sort of notes something, then moves on until he reaches the last few entries in the ledger after about 10 minutes of going over it. He closes it. He I think there's a moment of pause. He looks down, he takes his drink, and he downs it, reaches into his pocket, counts out a few coins, sets them down, and then he grabs the stool he's been sitting on and just smashes it to the ground behind him and starts going, "That son of a bitch! I'm going to gut him like a fish!" And he just starts stomping around, starts yelling profanities that strings of
I love him.
curses that you would have never even considered before in your life. Profanity as an art form. As he goes on and on for the next few minutes, everyone has gone silent. Everyone has gotten up in the lounge and moved towards and is looking out as he is just storming around in the rubble of the stool that he has just broken across the floor.
I don't leave. I don't look upset. I just sit.
Salome turns to the group at the lounge. We cater to all tastes here.
Right. Everyone goes and sits back down. I'm not even with the critical success. I'm gonna fuck with it. Nobody. They're just oh, right. And
Anger is his kink.
this is kink. Finally begins to stool. You can see at one point he was reaching for his pistol and started to go towards the door before he stops and turns back around. Finally,
I take the stool that's on the other side of me and I just slide it into the place where the broken one was, where he was sitting.
and eventually he sits back down in front of the coin that he sat down to reimburse you for the cost of the stool, and settles himself, and he says, "I apologize for that. I'm not usually prone to such violent outbursts, but on occasion, I find them to be cathartic."
I would say the occasion calls for it, so no apology necessary. That will more than make up for the stool.
Well, I find myself in somewhat of an embarrassing posture right now, not only for the recent outburst, but also for the clear fool I've been made of over the past several months, and the investments that I've made into that criminal's business. And I can promise you I will be demanding reimbursement and satisfaction in due order.
I don't imagine you're the only one in Duskwall that will be.
No.
And I apologize for any distress I've caused you, but, like I said, I felt just awful and couldn't sit by and let this continue to happen.
He looks at you and gives a smile, like a couple of golden teeth glinting, as he says, and I appreciate that. But I have been in this city for too long to believe in altruism. But I do find myself owing you and being amenable to your angle in this moment that I'm sure that you have. So, you have exposed my folly and sought to rectify it. As such, I find myself in your debt. How might I be of service?
My angle is that I like you, Captain Pansier. Quite a bit. Now, I will leave it to you, but I am always here looking for clients of a particular caliber. If you find yourself in need of my services, here I am. But as far as a debt goes, if I may, transfer that debt from myself to Salome in the jewelry box. We are doing all right here. But everyone who works here is of my caliber. And the woman who runs it, even higher. With an investment from someone of your caliber, this place could really be something.
He looks around. Where's Salome right now?
After the outburst and sort of cooling things down, I think is probably just standing in the doorway of the lounge, fanning herself, contributing to conversation, just looking absolutely resplendent and at ease.
And of course, if you needed the extra push, like I said, I do like you. And, perhaps your first service is on the house?
I'm going to go ahead and have you make one more roll. Assuming this will probably, maybe, unless things go very badly, could be the last roll to secure this job. Let's, probably another sway.
Yeah.
Unless there's, yeah.
Can I attune? Can I attune to
guess
the ghost of his emotions?
Listen, you could have had him possessed and just taken control of him that way.
No, but I do.
It seems a little weird to do that in the 11th hour.
No, I do actually like him. I don't feel good about possessing people unless it's absolutely necessary. So I will sway.
Good. Okay, so sway. I'm gonna call this controlled again. And I'm gonna call a standard effect.
Okay.
So you get 2 by default. There's no setup this time. You can push yourself or somebody else can assist.
Cannot push myself.
Oh, are you full on stress?
I have 2 stress left.
Oh,
So
shit.
if I push myself, I will remove myself from the scene,
Yeah.
which seems like not the ideal move.
Yeah, you can take trauma for that too. Does somebody want to spend a stress to assist?
I could do an assist. 2 stress, right?
I would love that.
It's 1 stress to assist.
One for
It's
assist.
1 stress to assist. We should be assisting all the time. Dang.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
need to be doing these alley oops.
All right. One from what? These very good drinks that Grackle's making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3.
Either that or she makes one last eye contact with him and it's confirmed for him exactly who she is.
I like that. Honestly, it's kind of what I was thinking. Is like
Because she was
you-
there the entire time. She was behind the bar.
you've been kind of like hiding and like avoiding it. I think as like finally like things settle down, like your assist is like you're standing there like finally like crossing your arms and he looks up and you just see that like flash of like eye rays as suddenly something clicks in his memory and he remembers you. He doesn't say anything in that moment. I think we'll get to that in a second.
Unless
so you
anyone
have
has a devil's bargain I can take.
that yeah, I don't have anything in mind if y'all have an idea for a devil's bargain.
I got nothing. All right, 3 is good.
Nah.
All right.
3 is good.
I rolled a 4, 5, and a 6.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm about to freaking photo evidence this.
With a 6, that was a full success. No more ticks. Y'all really got out of this without getting too many ticks on the red clock there. And that will be enough to fill the clock. And I think he looks up at you, has looked around the room, locked eyes with Grackle, turns back, says, well, I'm not keen on getting back into business after my latest venture, but I suppose if I'm going to be getting into bed with anyone, might as well be the people of the jewelry box.
I like the way you think. The offer stands, by the way.
Oh, and I plan to take you up on that. Unfortunately, I don't find myself in the right state of mind for this evening,
Of course.
but I will certainly be visiting back here soon. I do have a score to settle prior to making my investment, but let me propose you this. I'm going to go make a withdrawal in the next few days. And once I've done so, I will return and we will discuss the nature of our arrangement and contract for my investment. I'll let you draw the papers of what you're proposing, and as long as they're amenable and agreeable, then consider me a partner.
I would love to.
Salome heard contract from the other room, has the full 20-page business plan ready, heard next week, and puts it back in her bag.
I am positive that Miss Salome will be amenable to this. We will speak in the next few days. Shall we call it a week's time that we'll see you again?
Sounds lovely. Well, I suppose we settled this with one more drink. He looks up at you, Grackle, and says, "Round of shots, I suppose, Jack."
The
No
eyebrows
hesitation,
start to go up and then gets the
no
face under control.
reaction. Yeah, no reaction whatsoever. Just very deliberate movements, gets out some shots, and then we'll do that cool pour that one does, just
Uh-huh. You get that. He picks up a shot, hands it to you. Glass takes two more, walks one over to Salome, and standing there in the middle of the room says, "A toast to my new business partners. May our endeavors be profitable and fortuitous for all involved."
To the jewelry box.
To the jewelry box. Throws down the shot.
Yep.
I think that concludes the job. You've succeeded.
Oh my god, we did it.
But I
Oh.
wanted to one little after credits scene for the job. As Grackle. I think like everything kind of fades out, everyone leaves for the evening, you're being to lock up the shop. You have like taking out like a bunch of bottles in a crate out in the back of the alleyway, like the pieces of the bar stool that was shattered mixed in among them as you're taking them out to the dumpster.
Yep.
And as you head out there, kind of turn the corner, you see, and I'm gonna change our music here a bit. Leaning up against the wall, having probably been out here for the last 45 minutes or an hour, as he left a while ago, a cloud of smoke from a pipe that he is currently sucking on, surrounding his head. You see Captain Panzia waiting there for you. What does Grackle do when she sees him?
She's gonna step out, sort of like just very casually setting things down, separating recycling from regular garbage. We don't have that here. I just like doing chore stuff. Probably even breaking down the stool even more so it can fit in the garbage can. For your own safety, our involvement with the Baron is privileged information.
He turns to look at you. I think pipe clenching his teeth. He turns to look at you and like locks eyes with you, like squinting for a bit as he steps closer and says, "That really is you, isn't it?"
Howdy, Mr. Panzia.
Jack. And he like claps a hand on your shoulder and says, "You've grown up something fearsome."
Well, it's in my blood, I suppose.
Last time I saw you, you were high, scrawnier than a bundle of sticks. What happened to you? How'd you end up here?
Gotten into a bit of rough work, but it's par for the course here in Duskball.
Fair enough, I suppose. Fair enough. The others don't. Does he know?
Of course he knows. Who do you think sent me here? Like I said, it's privileged information. And if he finds out that somebody else knows that I'm here, he's not going to be happy.
I think I'm gonna have you roll.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. This is some serious social rolling here.
I think so.
What kind?
What's you thinking? Sway?
Yeah, it's got to be one of the either sway or consort, right? What is
Consort does
consort?
pull directly from your background, heritage, background, friends, rivals.
Yeah, actually, I would give you consort in this one because of your
I don't know if it's
history.
better.
It is better.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to push yourself?
I do, but I shouldn't because I only have 2 stress left.
Is there
But
any way
You
that
get some
from
delicious
the
trauma.
setup of this entire evening, I could have helped to like put him in the okay mood to have this conversation?
Oh boy, that is a good.
My buds, they've been helping me so much this entire night. They've been setting me up. I've been knocking them down. Can I set Grackle up? I only got 2 stress left, but I could take 1 to help my bud. We've really bonded tonight.
I really wanted to make Grackle take a trauma, but fine, I'll let you assist.
Yes.
I mean, if I don't make this roll, I'm definitely resisting the consequences.
Yeah.
So it's still well
Okay.
within the realm of possibility.
Boy, we've gotten a lot of stress from this job that I was not expecting. Because I think y'all started this gig pretty low on stress.
Oh, I had like
had
1
one.
or 2. Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
1 stress.
We knew going in that we were gonna be
This was gonna be rough.
pushing.
Yeah.
this.
Y'all got more stress on this than you've got on some of your jobs that were like murdering people.
Yep.
Very in character for Grackle, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's you get your assist die. I'm gonna give you a desperate
I
on this one as
figured.
your position. This is a pretty desperate plea. And the effect I'll give you standard effect. That the effect I'm gonna take into consideration everything that's happened tonight and give you standard. So all right.
Okay.
That rolls. That's
okay.
2 dice.
You got this.
I'm doing it.
Oh.
Oh, you know it had to happen though.
It had to.
Oh!
That's double 3s for people out there, so that is a failure.
Resisting.
Resisting.
She's disappearing into the dimension of regret.
What? Okay, this is not going to be the same resist as before.
It would have to be resolve, right?
I think it's gonna have to be a resolve resistance roll. I'm actually bringing up the consequences resistance. Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be. Well, yeah, because insight is consequences from deception or understanding, but I don't think that's you. I think that's you being deceived and not necessarily trying to deceive. I think this is mental strength or willpower in this moment. So yeah, we'll go with
Wait.
that.
In only one situation with this. Oh my god. Did this completely niche thing come up? I have a special ability called Focused, where I can expend a special armor to resist the consequences of surprise or mental harm.
Oh my god, are we playing Blades in the Dark?
We're finally playing Blades in the Dark, you guys!
Does this count?
I guess yeah. I mean, I gotta honor the mechanics that y'all have. You can spend because if you spend the armor, let me go back to the armor mechanic too.
Because I think I'm the only one that's expended any gear at this
you can
point.
mark an armor to reduce or avoid a consequence instead of a resistance roll. So, yeah. You can do that. Which isn't necessarily going to make this go your way. Well, okay. So resistance essentially is going to let's kind of back it up a little bit. You avoid the consequences, essentially like increasing the results. So we're going to treat this like a mixed success now instead of like a complete failure. Is essentially the way that this goes. Which still goes in your favor in a lot of ways. So you give him that, and he nods and says, "All right, you're leaving me in a pretty difficult situation, given our new business arrangement. But fine, I won't mention it. I have no reason to mention it in front of your cohort, friends."
It's best if you just act like you don't know me.
Fair enough. Listen, it's a fine establishment, and I understand that, but are you sure here is the best place for you to be plying your trade? Come work on my ship. I could have you as first mate there. You'd make 10 times what you make here.
Well, I got some business to button up here first, but I'll keep it in mind, Mr. Pansia.
All right. Well, damn glad to see you, lass. Lass, not glass. I'd like to speak more and suppose we'll keep our personal affairs to ourselves, and we'll catch up another time. I've caught you off guard here, I'm sure. Well, I guess this will stay between you, me, and the Baron.
Like I said, it's probably best not to tell him. He's gonna be cross if he finds out.
Oh, didn't you say he's the one that sent you here?
Yes, and no one's supposed to know.
Oh, so if all right. I'll keep it to myself the best I can, but he's going to know I'm going into business with. I'm going to need his assistance with the matter with Master Vreen, so I am. He'll find out about the jewelry box. I'm hoping that he won't make any inferences past that.
I suppose we both will.
So, we'll keep this our little secret. Well, I guess until next time then.
Grackle.
Not Jack.
Not here.
Grackle then.
She tips her hat to him.
Like claps your shoulder one more time, dumps out his pipe and stomps the embers on the ground, and heads down the alleyway.
That placating smile drops. And she's gonna storm back into the jewelry box.
All right. Well then, that is the end of our job here and the end of our session. I think we'll do the payout and everything for your score next time. I think that's probably the best place for us to call for tonight, right?
For sure.
Yeah. It's not like we got to go that long for our next session because we're playing again on Saturday. We're back to our normal 4-hour times. We'll have a whole extra hour to play with. So it has been so weird to be only playing 3 hours. But I am glad we did. So let's go ahead and do our end of session questions. do, do. Where do I have advancement? There it is. So, oh, that's not it. All right. Playbook specific X preachers. Everyone marked their desperate rolls. I think we had a couple today.
Yes.
Playbook specific XP triggers. Everybody.
Calculation conspiracy. That was this entire night.
Sure. Yeah.
Knowledge.
I'm gonna
and
give myself.
arcane
I'm
power.
sorry. I'm gonna give myself 2 for that because holy shit, y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
And sure. Yeah.
I'm
Is
giving
it-
myself 2 for knowledge because, like, whoa.
we
I
learned
solved
some
one
shit.
I solved one problem with violence at least.
You did. You did kick a man in the canal.
Would it count as vengeance?
This is Taskfall. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Your vengeance doesn't necessarily have to be against your main source of character vengeance, right? It's not tied to
I mean,
one vengeance. This guy
Petty
did.
vengeance is still vengeance.
Petty vengeance is still vengeance. He broke a chair, you kicked him in the canal. I'd call that
Yeah.
vengeance.
Guess who has 3 in sway now?
We lost-
Yeah, buddy.
Hit me.
We lost 2 chairs that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all are very good at
But
these
we
social-
gained a friend.
Grackle just walks inside and breaks the last one in the set.
I gotta say, every time I'm really having a hard time to go, we call the monkey Jack.
We call the monkey Jack. I said it in chat. All I can hear is Barbosa.
Every time I said
I think I said it last week too. You know what? I take
every
responsibility
time
for
I
that.
said Jack, I had to say it as Jack. Jack.
We call the monkey Jack.
Yeah, he got way too piratey. For,
Maybe
for
that's
me.
why I like him so much because I
Yeah.
do love Barbosa quite a bit.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
well, y'all get a pirate friend now. Okay, awesome. Playbook specifics done. Express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Ooh, drives I think was a big one this episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are
Expressed my background.
we are driving toward. We are barreling
Yeah.
toward a shared goal.
That is true. Yeah. That is well. I guess these are character drives, not group drives.
Yeah.
But I think like y'all do. I think some of you did. I think all of you in some way probably accomplished some personal drives too. So. But yeah, definitely. And then you struggle with issues from advice or traumas. We didn't have any advice coming out today. And I'm gonna
Almost.
give somebody a trauma.
I have one stress left. I
Eventually.
have one
We
stress
got really
box left.
close.
Oh my god.
I have
Guess who
got
now
one
has-
left.
Guess who now has 3 in finesse.
nice.
And
I'm really thinking, unless y'all roll seriously high on recovery, we may get some traumas on our next score.
Yeah, I would
'cause
love that.
I think all of you 2 or one or 2 away
2
right
away.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unless y'all, I guess, decide to just do all your downtime recovering, we'll probably be carrying over some stress into our next gig. So, oh boy, I'm gonna give somebody some traumas. Gotta hurt y'all.
RJ's
was
been
brushing
asking
up
for
on-
it for so
It's-
long.
It's so true. I was brushing up on traumas. I was all like, what happens when you get a trauma again?
It just makes it makes the game more fun. That's what it does.
Yeah, totally.
All right, that is it for personal XP. Y'all want to do? Man, you got the
Crew,
stuff for
crew.
XP.
I sure do. Execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation. I want to argue that this was a sabotage.
I mean, I'm fine because I was thinking espionage, but either
Okay.
way, you get an
The-
XP. So
In that we freaking ruined a man to make our lives better.
that is true. Yeah, I mean, I think you could classify it as either. It goes in between espionage or sabotage because I think espionage, you were like all of this was set up just to convince him to be on your side.
Yep.
To make this connection. So
So we
either
get
way, it
two.
works.
We get 2 because we did both. Yes.
No.
Okay. One it is. Contend with challenges above your current station.
Yeah, definitely, I think.
Definitely as in one or definitely as in two?
I mean, you only really had one main challenge above your current
Well,
station.
it's just...
What about ink rakes? Ink rakes and...
Oh yeah, how are
I
we
guess
with ink
that's
rakes?
I guess you were dealing with and the Spirit Wardens. You were dealing with Ink Spirit Wardens, and Leviathan
Barbosa.
Hunters.
Well, that's a crew
Barbosa.
level up, baby.
Woo!
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. As a reminder, our reputation is flamboyant and loyal. And I would say
I'd say
we
we're
did both.
definitely, yeah. Loyal, especially. Y'all, like...
Yeah.
Salome's ears were burning all night with all the nice shit y'all were saying. So
Yeah, don't get used to it.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
And the final one, express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. I mean, it's our essential nature to convince other people to give us money. Whether we
go a bit more nuanced than that.
Whether we talk to them and convince them to get on our side, or we steal it, we're gonna get it.
I think oh, go ahead.
Outside of the things that we've already cashed in experience on, I don't know if there's any particular goals, drives, or essential natures that we've expressed.
Well, I'll say this. We've given y'all XP pretty consistently for this thing that y'all do, where you essentially all just do your fucking own thing and then somehow come together in the end.
It's what we're good. It's how this crew.
Pretty much
it's why we're such
is
a great team.
That is the essential nature of this crew. Is that
we
four of us
trust each other.
We have
You're
the
four independent
like
contractors.
Yeah, well we have the core group, and then we go off and do our own thing, and we rely on the flashbacks to be like, okay, this is how we would have, finagled this.
Yeah.
But we always manage to make it a team sport.
We also now know that all of those flashbacks occur during Horse Parade.
Yeah.
Like we've established that.
The Parade of Horse.
Which I am now hearing as Horse Parade.
The Parade of Horses.
Oh, don't worry. Captioner has been oscillating between horse and horse all night.
Which I do love. Horse Parade.
Horse Parade.
Y'all have been saying Horse Parade? I thought we were saying... Hold on.
I'm giving us one for essential nature of the crew because I think...
Horse Parade and Horse Parade.
So somebody note down that we need to level that shit up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We can do that in pregame on Saturday.
Woohoo!
Cool. Yes, we will. All right. Well, let's do our...
we have quotes too?
Stars, wishes, and quotes.
I forgot about them.
I'll pull up the quotes doc, give you all a chance to last minute put anything on that you have it. But who wants to go first for stars and wishes?
I already wrote stuff into the quotes, so I should probably go first.
Go for it.
Star, though? What's my star, though?
I would love it if somebody that wasn't me would go first.
What's my star, though?
What's my star, though?
What's my star, though?
The scene where the Spirit Warden came back to life was pretty great. Just all together.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
There's
Can't get more direct than that,
there was a lot to like about that scene in particular. Just like the unsuccessful assassination combined with also happened to be wearing the mask when they came back to life. Just conveniently okay, great. Well, at least they didn't see your face. And then also the interaction afterwards, where I'm sorry, I forget your ghost's name.
Nerix.
when Nirix is like, what just happened? And your response is, I believe I just saved you from a spirit warden. I just liked that entire scene.
It was honestly very perfect with like, because I was very careful not to describe like saying they died, not describe blood and stuff. And I was worried, and then the bells and everything, and it just like the way you leaned into it and the things that Glass did in that moment were very perfect to lead me up to it. You're like, I take the mask and I put it on. I started to take off the cloak. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then even like waiting for the bells to happen, they don't, and it's just like great scene.
Yeah.
Great scene in general.
My initial thought was that it was going to be a Michael Myers moment where you just like leave the body and you start walking around and they just like pop up at the end of the alleyway behind you.
Nah.
Oh God.
Too
Yeah.
careful for that.
As for my wish, I'll just get it out of the way. I want RJ back. I want RJ back.
Oh, I can't wait.
RJ missed a session.
Curious to see what Fume has been up to.
Sitting in
Stuck
the
in
vault,
the basement.
drinking and talking to Cobb again.
God. I was going to be so delighted if the Spirit Warden if you hadn't thought about Cobb being downstairs and the Spirit Warden had gone and been like, what's in this vault?
Yeah, none of your goddamn
Nah,
business.
our money is in there. Nobody gets to go down there.
If we let somebody go look at our money, then they might open up a hole in the floor and take it.
Yeah.
As we've learned.
All right. Thank you, Wings. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Go for it.
My star. I just want to give it to everyone. My star though is going to go to Salome. For just a really ultimate level of keeping her cool. There was so much happening on our home turf, and the jewelry box, like, as much as it is like all of our home, right? It is like Salome's baby. And her, like, it is more than anyone else, it is her space, and a lot of stuff happened on her home turf, and she owned it and kept it cool and was always in control of it. And I think it was very well played. And just over the course of the night, she zigged when they zagged, and yeah, it was awesome. And it was awesome to watch, and I think it was awesome to just like see all of us, and it was last session too when we started this, like to see all of us, and RJ included, like on our home turf, like, all right, how the fuck are we gonna do with this? But Salome really owned the space, and it was awesome. My wish is going to be very specific to next episode, because I know we're going to get into downtime. Glass needs a new vice purveyor. Because
That's right.
I overindulged and
You got cut off.
had to dip because I brought down a spirit warden on the pleasure cruise. So we should talk about it. But I wanna create something new and fun, and probably even worse than the sex and drugs boat for Glass to get into, because I have to indulge my vice. I've got literally one stress box left, so
Yeah.
I wanna dig in and find something weird and fun and cool to
I
to
know
do.
I don't typically do wishes, but for my wish for Glass is I want to know if what Glass is going to do about the Spirit Wardens, and whether Glass is going to go to Bellwether Crematorium and take them up on that.
I have some
that
thoughts.
offer.
I have some thoughts.
Conversation.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
So
thank
they
you, Van.
fully true named me to my friends.
Yeah.
You guys know
Rude.
Glass. You guys know Glass's real name now.
Yeah. Did they already? Have you told
No,
anybody your real
that
name before?
is the first time.
I had to
Yeah,
do it to
probably
somebody
should-
else. I've been doing it to.
I probably ought to write that down.
No, I love it. I love it. Yeah, Asher West is Glass's actual name.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Van. Sid,
You're welcome.
bring us home.
I think my star has to go to Grackle for the very specific moment in the after credit scene, because I didn't know if you were lying or not. Before the roll was called, I was like, wait, what? I flipped out over here before a roll was called, and honestly, I still don't know. So that's
Yeah, I was going to say, just because they rolled doesn't mean the rolls for many reasons.
still don't know. So that just amped me up something fierce and made me very happy. So kudos. Very well done. Yeah. Got the heart pumping right there in the 11th hour. Amazing. I wish. Yeah. I feel like we're getting some of Grackle's backstory biting her in the ass, and now we're getting some of Glasses biting them in the ass. Yeah, I'm hoping Fume and Salome get a little bit of backstory ass biting. That came out wrong. But you know what I mean.
Somebody
Yeah,
clip
some of
that
that would be fun.
immediately, please.
See, you would think I would learn to think before I speak on the internet, but no, it's part of my charm. But yeah.
It's a
very much-
requirement of this channel. You're not allowed to censor yourself.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think this next downtime, because we're gonna have everyone back. Last time we did downtime, we were missing Salome, and there were a couple things I wasn't able to do. I think this next downtime, we're gonna have some shit's gonna go down.
So excited.
So this Saturday
Oh,
might
man.
be pretty dramatic.
This-
So yeah,
This system and our GM both do a great job of making us look forward to shit absolutely coming back to bite us.
Exploding in our
Yep.
faces.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
For sure.
yeah. I mean, the system itself is, my job is to make y'all look like feel like heroes, to look like y'all are the main characters, and y'all can't feel like main characters if shit isn't blowing up around you constantly. Like
That's how it is.
like
How it
bad
goes.
shit has to happen for y'all, like just crazy shit has to be constantly happening around you for you to feel like main characters.
Oh wait, can I do another wish?
Yeah, go for it.
I want Captain Pansia to stick around.
I love him.
Can we keep him as like an intermittent? Like I know he's got to go out and do his shit, but
I can't
mean-
keep adopting dads.
I want no. Don't worry about it. You don't have to adopt him. He's my daddy now.
Hey.
As soon as he was like, you could be my first mate," I was all like, "Oh no, you're nice."
Oh, well, because the options
Uh-oh.
were kill him or get him under our thumb.
And
I'm
y'all,
working on it. Anyway, I
y'all,
want to keep him. Can I
mean,
keep
that's
him?
you'll kind of succeed. I mean, well, that was the whole thing. That was this job was to keep him around.
Well, but I know,
to-
but like I'm asking you as the GM who has to play him. Like, can we
He's
keep
asking
him,
like, as in Casper, can I keep
I
him?
want him to like
Can I keep
exist.
he will exist as long as you decide to go talk to him.
Yay!
That would be like any other NPC. Y'all go talk to him. He's gonna be there.
Hey.
At least until things happen. We'll see how that all goes.
We
so.
love things
but
happening.
You have
That
you have him on your side for now. So, well, yeah. Okay, that's where. Quote. Who was it that said horse parade first? Because I'm giving it for
That was
that.
me.
Yeah.
Was that
Horse
was that
parade.
Van?
It was
Horse
me.
parade.
You get horse parade.
Which, in my defense, it was Parade of Whores.
Parade of Horse.
yeah, it's
The
just-
Horse Parade is extremely good.
I mean, it's gonna get shortened, and then it was
Yeah.
Parade of Whores, which
Yes,
is great.
I-
and then
I
it got
am-
Horse Parade, and that's Horse Parade.
I will give myself
Horse
some
Parade.
credit, which I rarely do. Yes, Horse Parade was
Horse
me,
Parade.
and then me immediately trying to come up with a joke, based on whores and hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres. Yeah.
It didn't happen, but Parade of Whores / Horse Parade.
Yeah.
I don't know. Horse Devour was pretty good.
Yeah, I feel
That
like
was Wings.
what I'm gonna say too is that it is episodes like this that I wish I still named episodes, because this episode would just be named Horse Parade.
Horse Parade.
yeah,
Not Horse Parade. Horse
No,
Parade.
Horse Parade.
Horse
Horse
Parade.
Parade.
And everyone would be like, "What the
We
fuck?"
should
Well,
get
now
a
we've said it
horse.
so fast. Now it sounds like horseparent, as in like
Yeah.
antiperspirant for horses.
Horse Parade.
This is
I mean, they need it.
the divorce.
Oh no.
The horse. The divorce.
The divorce.
All right,
we
we've
can't-
gone over time.
Cut the feed. Cut the feed.
Yeah, we're cutting it.
We
thank you everyone
can't
out there
start.
for
We
watching.
can't start also
We
making dropy jokes.
We'll power through ending this session. Thank you everyone out there for watching. We will be back on Saturday to continue this game at 5 o'clock Eastern time, back to our regular programming starting this Saturday. So join us for that. In the meantime, join Discord, follow us on social medias that we're on, that I'm completely out of touch with, but the links are all below our faces if you'd like to do that. But our Discord is the best place to keep up to date with everything that we do.
Subscribe
join
to our YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is completely up to date too. We got tens of thousands of hours of content. I'm probably overestimating, but
Might not be.
I might not.
We've been doing this since 2017, and it's all on YouTube, baby. So
yeah, I'll do some
go
math eventually.
be embarrassed for us.
Yeah. But thank you to my lovely players as well for making this game a joy to run, because it always is.
Thank you for the game.
Fuck you, RJ. And until next time,
Love you, RJ.
good
See you
game.
Saturday.
And good night, Internet.